Are you a Black woman whose life feels chaotic because of disorganization and clutter? This is a live that you want to tune into. I am going to be talking about how to create organization and how to organize your life to have clarity and peace. My name is Kamisha Jones Brandon. I am a licensed clinical social worker, recovering workaholic, and burnout overcomer. Moving Beyond Burnout empowers Black women to cultivate self-awareness and to create practical pathways to overcome burnout for good. So if you're joining me for the first time, please like this video. Please share this video with another woman that you know of who's struggling with stress and chaos. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to my newsletter. The description and the link to do that is in the description section. So today's video is my top 5 ways to organize your life to bring clarity and peace that you need. So I wanted to talk about this because when I have met with women who have been struggling with burnout, who have struggled with stress and feeling overwhelmed, one of the common things that isn't often talked about is what's going on in terms of clutter, mental clutter, physical clutter, and also how disorganization can create more stress, and it doesn't create opportunities to have clarity, peace, and to heal. So I'm going to go through my top 5 ways of how to organize your life to bring clarity and peace that you need. So the first is know what's creating mental and physical clutter in your life. So we are often familiar with what physical clutter is. And physical clutter is, literally your home environment or whatever environment, your office, right? If there are papers all over the place, if, your bed's not made, if there are, dishes all these dishes in the sink, all these things that can be considered physical clutter. And we usually think of someone maybe being junky, someone who doesn't, have their house together or their office together. Because I have walked into some offices and it looked like a hazard zone. But then in addition to that, there is mental clutter, which is often not talked about. And mental clutter is when there are so many different things that you're focused on or going on in your mind that create a sense of urgency, but also create a feeling of chaos. So that can look like someone who's always multitasking. That can be even being anxious about thinking about what is the next thing that I have to do, or, not feeling settled in your mind with your thoughts and how to process these different events that are happening in your life. So the first thing that you want to do to organize your life, to bring that clarity, to bring that peace, is to know what is creating the mental and physical clutter. What is contributing to you having so much going on up here? What is contributing for your home, your environment, your office, wherever you're at, to be disorganized, to be a place of physical clutter. And once you're able to understand, okay, this is what's creating the mental clutter, this is what's creating the physical clutter, that can be a great starting point to begin to create organization in your life. The next is to identify the area of your life that is cluttered and disorganized. So there are certain, we put our lives in these very distinct places or boxes. Usually we can pinpoint what areas in our life are causing us the most stress and what those contributors are to the stress that can create that overwhelm, that can feel like, as I mentioned before, chaotic. So I'll give an example. For me, my room is an indication of where I'm at mentally and physically. So, in my room, if the bed is not made, if there's stuff all over the place, I know that there's something going up in here. There's something that's going on in my life that is keeping me from taking care of very basic things. And so, when I see that happen, I immediately know, okay, what is going on that I'm not able to do just the basics in my environment? Similarly, with work, when I talked about mental clutter a little bit earlier, if I am feeling all over the place, if I'm feeling unsettled, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, it could be an indicator of all these things that I'm trying to juggle and negotiate in my mind at the same time. And that is telling me that I need to focus, that I need to pause, that I need to be silent to calm that down. So these are just some examples of, identifying the areas of your life that are cluttered, that are disorganized. Next is to vision and plan to organize your personal and professional life. We are coming up on the new year. It is December 2024. And this is a time where a lot of people are beginning to vision. They're beginning to plan what they want their next couple months to look like, what they want their next year to look like. And this is an opportune time for you to actually identify what you want your life to look like in terms of your well-being, in terms of your happiness, your joy, to set goals, right? And so we can do that as well when it comes to our environments and how we take care of ourselves mentally. So I would like you to take some time to vision and plan how you want to organize your life. How do you want to feel? How do you want to experience life day to day? And once you're able to vision and plan those things, that helps to bring that clarity as you move forward. And it helps you to organize your space physically and your space mentally to go into the next season. And number 4 is utilizing tools and people to bring efficiency and ease. We are in a highly technological world right now. I'm using technology. We're using technology all the time. But there are things that we can do. There are tools that we can use to help us to feel in order, to help us to feel organized. And so some of those tools could be using some of your apps on your phone as reminders or things to make daily tasks more easy, more efficient. I'll give a quick example. Going to the grocery store always has felt like a 2-hour task to get there, make the list, go there, all that stuff. So one of the things that I utilized to be efficient with my time and that gave me ease was to order my groceries online and have somebody drop them off. And literally that one thing has saved me time and has made my life easier to do something very basic. But I want you to think about, like, what are tools that I can use, whether technologically, that can help me in my day-to-day life. Also, who are people who can bring efficiency and ease? Is that, hiring, a babysitter? Is that utilizing people to provide, basic and tangible support for you? And we all need each other. And it's not a thing of using someone, but it's literally like, how can I utilize this relationship that I have to bring me ease and to create what we would maybe call a system or a way of doing things to prevent stress and prevent that overwhelm. And then the last thing, number 5, is let go of what's holding you back. When I think of just to give a physical representation. I don't know if any of you all have seen the show Hoarders. So the show Hoarders, it documents all of these people who have hoarded in their houses. And some of the things that I've seen, I can't even repeat because it is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. But what I learned from that show is that part of their mental and physical environment suffering was because they could not let go of certain things. And I want you to think about, what are you holding that you need to let go of to create more space and more clarity and more peace in your life. Like I said, when it comes to organization, is a mental and physical, and I'd say emotional thing as well. So if you feel chaotic, if you feel stressed, if you feel overwhelmed, identify what are the sources of those things and how you can let go of it. Because sometimes holding on to certain ways of being, certain ways of doing things, certain commitments actually hold us back from what could be the solution, which is having a life free of stress, free of burnout. So I encourage you all to, this is probably the most important point that I'll make today, is to really begin to let go of what's holding you back in a variety of different ways. So these were my top 5 tips of how to organize your life to bring clarity and peace. So the first one is know what's creating mental and physical clutter. Number 2, identify the area of your life that is cluttered and deorganized. Number 3 is vision and plan to organize your personal and professional life. Number 4 is utilize tools and people to bring efficiency and ease. And number 5, the most important, let go of what's holding you back. I wanted to share this. I know this isn't as maybe juicy as a topic as it relates to burnout and Black women, but I have seen in my work on a personal level, but also professionally, how chaotic people's lives can be. And some of it is not their own doing. Some of it is literally maybe the circumstances that they have had to endure or walk into. But I want to see how organization and how simplifying, how all those different things can help to remove the constant state of overwhelm, exhaustion, and stress that I see Black women experiencing. So these tips, even though, like I said, the topic is not as juicy as maybe some other things, these are very practical ways that you can begin to implement organization in your life. And then the last thing that I will say is that you can start small. You don't have to start big. Little steps create big change. So I want you to remember that as well. Oh, and hey, Marissa, happy Thursday. Good to see you, girl. Uh, so thank you for tuning in. So I was going to talk, my next topic was going to be 2025, 2024 reflections on burnout, in 2025, my hopes for 2025. But I have really been seeing Black women online talking about how they are healing from exhaustion. And I want to talk about it. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to come back and talk about how I'm seeing Black women heal from exhaustion. It's very powerful. And I think we need to just highlight it, because a lot of times when we talk about burnout and stress and all these things, we're talking about the issue, but we're not talking or even being able to envision what life could look like if we weren't in that space. And so I think it's really powerful to see so many Black women who are resisting against exhaustion and are trying to create another pathway, another way of living and being. So that is what I'm going to talk about in 2 weeks. So join me every other Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Time. Please like this video. Please share it with a friend or someone else who you know who's struggling with a lot of challenges, stress, overwhelm, and chaos. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my newsletter if you're on LinkedIn as well. I send out a newsletter every 2 weeks about topics that I'll discuss, but things that are in the news and that could be worth like looking into and reading about. And then lastly, authentic alignment. So I have in the process of creating a workplace wellness program for Black women who are early career professionals. So if you're between the ages of 18 and 30 and you live in Chicago, I wish I could expand this further, but we're starting with a pilot in Chicago. I would love for you to join me for Authentic Alignment. This mental wellness workplace program is totally different than I think what we usually see. And what I mean by that is it leans more into focusing on mental wellness than focusing on the workplace. So Black women, when they have authentic alignment, they feel empowered to embrace who they are authentically. What are their ambitions? What are their goals? What are their visions? And then how can they be aligned in work and with their life and then with work? And a lot of, workplace programs is like professional development. How do you change this? How do you change that? How do you navigate these different things? But I strongly believe that if we focus on the mental well-being aspect, Black women, especially those who are early in their career, will actually have clarity about how they want to move forward and what will work best for them. So please go to my website, communitycare.sistaafya.com/get support, and you'll be able to sign up there. And I'll also put it in the description. So thank you all so much for tuning in. And I will see you in 2 weeks, and take care of all of you and be well.